everyone, and welcome to our What's New in Canva Education Canva Create 2026 edition. We are so glad that you're here. Wow, that's a mouthful, right? But really, seriously, we're very excited that you're joining us today. Today is all about taking what you've seen from Canva Create and turning it to real classroom impact. We'll walk through the latest launches and show you how they come to life in your teaching, your students' learning, and your everyday workflow. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Today's session is being recorded and we'll share the recording with you after today's webinar. You can also find it on Canva's YouTube channel as well as on Canva's Design School. While we're not offering professional development certificates for this session, we hear you and are actively working on ways to offer this for future webinars. Alongside me, you'll see our amazing, and I mean amazing, team of moderators with so much knowledge. And the chat is a great place to share your feedback, reactions, or connect with the team. However, since the chat moves extremely quick, we ask that you submit all your questions using the Q&A feature, just so we can make sure that they get answered. You'll also see a participant guidebook pinned right above the chat, right on the top of the bar. We encourage you to use that throughout the session as it links to every feature we'll be talking about today, as well as resources to really make you feel empowered with everything that we're covering today. And we have a lot to cover. If you don't already have a Canva Education account, you'll find a link in the chat. We'd love for you to explore it and invite your whole school or district to join. All right, let's dive in. My name is Leena and I am part of Canva's Design School. I spent over a decade in the classroom before moving into EdTech, and now I get to help educators like you bring creativity, collaboration, and confidence into your teaching, as well as people around the world. Before we jump in, we'd love to hear from you. How long have you been using Canva? Go ahead and respond in the chat or use the poll that's inside of your guidebook. Whether you're brand new or using it every day with your students, this session is designed to meet you where you are. So are you brand new using this for the first time with a 1? Throw that in the chat. 2, less than a year, or 5, with you've been using it 5+ years. If it were me, I'm going to put a 5. I've actually been using it in my classroom very back when, before Canva Education was even a product itself. Amazing. We'd love to hear the wide range of experience and we'd love to see exactly where you are. All right, so here's what you've all been waiting for, what we'll be covering today. We'll start with how Canva Education supports teaching and learning, then move into what's new from Canva Create. From there, we'll walk through real classroom workflows, show you how to Canva-fy your resources with a very special Canva verified expert guest, and wrap up with new educator resources you can start using right away. So with that, let's get started. But first, what is Canva Education? It's our all-in-one interactive learning platform designed to support teaching and learning across every grade level or subject, whether you're teaching kindergarten or grade 12, science or social studies, we've got you covered. And when I say all-in-one, I mean it. You might have used Canva before to create presentations or classroom posters, but our visual suite goes far beyond that, from collaborating on documents to editing videos and even building websites, interactive widgets. Everything you need lives in one place and in one design. Now, I love a good stat, so here are a few to share. Canva Education was launched in 2019, but used widely in 2020. Canva is used by over 100 million students and teachers around the world, and our education community has access to thousands of education-specific templates. And we'll dive into more of what those look like today. But my favorite part of Canva Education, and I'm sure part of yours, is that it's 100% free for K-12 schools and districts, no matter where you are in the world. That means that we can bring world-class learning, and you can bring world-class learning tools into your classroom regardless of budget. The next question we always get, is this a trick? Why is Canva free? It's not. If you watch the keynote, I'm sure you've had enough information about that. But we believe that education is a human right. And that belief is part of our 2-step plan. First, to build one of the world's most valuable companies, and second, to do the most good that we can by supporting initiatives like education and nonprofit programs around the world. We also believe that the skills students learn go far beyond the classroom of today. Today's students are stepping into a world where visual and digital communication is absolutely essential. When students use Canva, they're not just designing. They're learning how to organize ideas, collaborate with others, think critically, and communicate with confidence. Canva also lowers the barrier to creation, so every student has a way to show what they know without needing advanced technical skills. And that's exactly why Canva was built for everyday people as well. By using tools like Canva, we're helping prepare students with skills they need to both succeed in the classroom and beyond. I'd encourage you to check out LinkedIn one of these days and check out the job postings and see how many job postings actually require for students to have the skill set in Canva. At its core, Canva education empowers everyone to create and communicate in the classroom beyond. We're passionate about helping students build future-ready skills while the world continues to change. Core skills like communication, collaboration, and creativity will always matter. And all of these tools are designed to help you reimagine what learning can look like in your classroom. And we can't wait to see what you and your students create after today's webinar. Now, before we kick everything off, you will see these labels throughout the deck. They'll show which Canva education accounts these are available to, and these labels just help clarify the different types of education accounts. So there's a Canva teacher. That means I just signed up for one myself. Canva school means that I signed one up for my school, and now I can invite other teachers, and now we're all on the same team. And Canva district is a district that's been set up through SSO or that has been onboarded via Canva for Districts. And now we're going to kick off into what's new in Canva. So we'll be covering AI-powered creation, customizing your classroom content, and then smarter teaching workflows. So let's go ahead and dive in first with AI-powered creation, where you can find it, customize it, and teach it. First, we're going to go over Magic Layers, which launched back at AI Vision, where you can turn flat images into fully editable layered designs, transform finished images into starting points for creativity. So let's go ahead and let's dive in. All right, so here I am on my Canva homepage, and I'm just going to come up here to the top, and I'm going to type in poster. And I'm just going to come here to my poster, and I've already pre-uploaded an image. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my image here, and then I'm going to tap on edit. And then here you'll see Magic Layers. Now, in the past, you would probably use Magic Grab to do this, and today we're going to be using Magic Layers. And so what that will do is that will now take your entire image and it will make it into editable layers. And so now I can edit every single thing on here instead of just grabbing text or grabbing image. Now I have this entire poster here that I can now edit and change and modify. So we can see here that I can move this, I can move this box, I can move this, I can move all of these different parts. So this is really handy when that teacher walks into your room with that resource from 20 years ago, or maybe you've been using something from a long time. You can take this and now you can change things. So let's say instead of taking, I want to replace something, a mature plant, I can come to the Elements tab, I can do plant. I can just type in mature plant maybe. And I can see that there's all sorts of different options that I can go ahead and swap out with that as well. So that is Magic Layers. Now let's talk about 3D elements leveled up. So create interactive 3D content from a prompt. You can help students explore and understand complex concepts. Now what's really new about this is that now in present mode, you can actually rotate and move these elements. So you can create them, but you can also rotate and move them around while you're in present mode. So students don't have to have edit access to your design, which really levels it up to the next level. And let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So here I am in a design that I've already pre-created for today's presentation. And here we have the 3D elements. And so when I'm in present, you can see that I can just tap on it and I can move it. But if I go into present mode, remember you can click these here or this and quickly present right here. I like to use the arrows because I'm just used to it. And now I can go ahead and I can move these around. If you're wondering how to create it, you just need to go into Magic Media and you can type in 3D element and we can say in access vertebrae, and I can go ahead and type that in, and it's going to take a few moments to create that for me, and then I just add it to my design, and now my students have access to be able to have 3D full imagery right at their fingertips and be able to explore that. Again, this will just be through Magic Media. If you don't have access to it, you can see there's images, graphics, videos in 3D. Just tap on 3D and you'll be able to see that right there. So here's another model. You can obviously use more words to be able to do that. And then we can see here that we have another one of those type of elements. Again, if I go into present mode, now my students can actually move and be able to explore all parts of this. This works really well for math. There's a variety of use cases in which you can actually use this to explore with your students. So that is 3D leveled up. Now, this is one of my favorite is Code 2.0. Just describe what you want to create from games to activities and generate designs that respond to clicks, taps, and scrolls. So if you're wondering how this leveled up, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So we're going to go back here to our design. You will see here at the top something new. Once this has been launched for you, you'll be able to see here code at the top. You can also create a design. So now here we are in our design, and I am on Canva Code itself. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to type what it is that I need here. So I'm actually going to create a back to school, create a for our end of the year party in which our students will showcase their projects and also end with a celebration. I'll just type that in, and I'm just going to conversationally talk to Canva AI like I would when I was doing Canva Code itself. And what this will do is this will start preparing something. And these Canva Code or this will produce something on an interactive page. And so an interactive page will make it more interactive. In addition to that, it will also make it so that it's mobilely responsive. So it's going to have that look and feel that you're always, that you've been wanting and prompting before in Canva. And so it's just going to go ahead and do that. And I know we're getting a lot of questions about when the new features are coming and all of that good stuff. We'll just say, keep on the lookout. Canva does a really good job of releasing that information for you. So don't be too worried. We'll be able to, send out all of that information, but you're going to be really excited about what's coming out here for Canva Code. And in your guidebook, we'll share more information about all of that as well. Okay, so this is designing a festive event page for your end of the year showcase, and it's just going to create the code. And you'll see here, we presented a workshop on this actually at Canva Create, and people were just amazed by the creations that came out. The output is just so amazing. It's probably one of my most favorite updates, but I don't know if that's because I taught computer science, and so it gets me really jazzed. But you've seen the different iterations of Canva Code. First, you could see it coding the whole thing. Now it's just telling you that it's coding. You'll still be able to copy code. You'll still be able to connect to sheets. You'll still be able to do all of that. But this just makes it a much more immersive experience. And I think it will be really exciting for you as well. All right, just takes a few moments to think. And now we have our first version. And it says end of the year celebration. It tells me when the celebration. I didn't give it any of this information, event details, the date, the event schedule, which I really like. You see how it's like moving and it's more like interactive. It's popping up. It has those types of things. Now, what's really, really unique about this is that we have these, I would need to go in and code this, but what's really unique outside of that is, let's go ahead and you can see this little line here on the side. When I click it, it's going to make it, you can instantly see what it will look like on different devices, which I really love. You can also click on this and you can change the font. So let's say you have a dyslexic font, or maybe you have a classroom font or something in your school. You can go ahead and do that, and you can change the color as well if you wanted. So I can make this like a gradient if I wanted. I can make it a different color. So there's all sorts of different options. I recommend not making these changes until you're really happy with the version that it is, but that's good to know. And you'll see here, I'm just in the essentially play mode of this. I can go and see the code if I want. I just tap on the code. I can come over here and I can copy the code if I wanted. When I untap code, then that brings me back to the version itself. And then you'll see here that these are image placeholders. So I can come over here and I can just type in ecosystem. You can replace oops, I might want to spell that correctly. You can replace a photo with a photo. So let's say I want this one. I just click and I just drag it right into the frame. So I think that's really great. We can type in belonging maybe, or maybe I have a photo that I want to add. Ooh, I love this. This is cute. Ooh, I kind of like this one. And then code and create. So maybe over here, I'm going to put code and just kind of see what comes up. Maybe I want to be more detailed. Maybe it's a photo of my students. But there's those sorts of ability. Now, if you want to change any of this text, you can actually go ahead and do that as well. So that's something that's you can do right there. So definitely keeping that towards the end. It's just nice to have that editable version. And then maybe I'm going to type in celebrate. And I'm just going to put celebrate and search and see what comes up. And maybe I'm not the biggest fan of this image. This looks fun. There we go. So now we have a little bit more of a customized element there. What's also unique about this is in the past, when you were doing Canva Code, you would publish, right, to a certain type of design type, a presentation, interactive website, that sort of a thing. So that will all be in there for you as well. You could still publish to a website here. And the nice thing is that you're going to be able to find this website again. So it'll be right here, but you can also add different pages to your design. So let's say you have your web page on one thing, you have your code on one, you can still add other things inside of here. So this is really good if students are planning something, maybe they have all their planning docs and then they build their code in here and you can see everything all in one place, but being able to have that there. Also, this is conversational. So I can share this and collaborate with another person. They could come in. They won't see this full chat history here, but they can come in and say, make it a space theme. And I can just type this in here and it will take a few moments and it's just going to change it. But a person that I share this with can come in and make changes to this doc by using the same conversational language right in here, which I think is really great. And I think also gives that students the ability to see that. Also creating something like a prototype or a daily habits schedule, really nice ways to like really have that really interactive element. At Canva Create, we had students come in during a workshop and they were doing studying tools. And actually one of the students had a great experience and then went home and actually did that as like a practice test. My own sister is in college, and so I share that with her. And she actually just recently passed her billing and coding test using Canva Code and created a game to actually help her practice using that as well. So it takes a couple moments, just like everything else does as well. But that's right there for you. So you can bring in your own images if you want into this and kind of have that. A frame must already be there in order for you to throw in an image or something like that. But that's kind of how that goes. And so this is just currently creating that. So we're just letting that think through. And now we can see version 2 has a different look and feel. It definitely has more of a galactic feel. Again, this is why I suggest making those changes at the end once you're really happy with the design and how it's functioning. And then you can also, and then this is what it will look like when you're in that mode. See how it's like really interactive. It's moving around. It's that sort of thing. So you can add timelines. You can add all sorts of things in here. It's really, really great. Okay, so we just talked about code, and now we're moving on to LearnGrid. A new home for learning. All your resources, creation tools, and teaching workflows in one place. Access to curriculum-aligned content, and create activities with AI in seconds. So Magic Activities has been moved here, and so I'll show you what that looks like. It doesn't require any admin permissions, so just throwing that in there, and all those permissions and things like that will be in your guidebook. So LearnGrid is your new home for learning in Canva, brings everything together, content creation, teaching all in one place. It's one of our hero launches at Canva Create. You should have seen it on the main stage. So now instead of jumping between tools, you can now plan, create, and deliver lessons in a single workflow. It's designed to save you time while making learning more engaging for students. You get access to thousands of ready-to-teach curriculum-aligned resources, and you can instantly generate custom activities using AI tailored to your students' lessons and your students. For example, a teacher can select a standard, type in what they need, and instantly generate an activity ready to assign. No starting from scratch, just customize and go. And then everything connects from creating resources to assigning work and running live sessions. So you're not just creating content, you're managing the whole learning experience. It's not just for teachers, students, and even families can use it to support learning everywhere. So this is available to anyone, no matter if you're a teacher or not a teacher. That means more flexibility, more access, and more opportunities to engage. So at the end of the day, LearnGrid removes that barrier of entry, saving time, simplifying workflows, and making high quality learning more accessible for everyone. So let's take a look at what that looks like in action. Okay, so now we're back here on our Canva education account, and we just tap this new little icon here that says LearnGrid. So here you will see that it defaulted to Texas because I live in Texas. So it's just defaulting where you are based on your location. You can choose by grade, choose by subject, and you can also select by topic. So if you're looking for something specific to your learning outcome, you can find that here. Learning outcome, learning standard. Every state and district and place in the world has different verbiage for this, but what we're talking about is mapping to standards regarded, in this case, to Texas. I could change it to Colorado, which is where I used to teach, and now the topics will change based on the grade level that I'm in. I'm just going to unselect this though, just for this case. So you can see all of these subject specific ones. Now you can create with AI worksheets, interactive games, or whiteboards. Worksheets and whiteboards are what formerly was Magic Activities. And so now you're creating all of this with AI. So you can do your worksheets. So if you were to do a worksheet, you can see that you can see digital versions, and you can also see printable worksheets. All of these can still be assigned throughout Canva. So just because it says printable does not mean you have to create a printable resource. So if we were to go in and we were to do a digital worksheet, we could do that. And what happens is it pops up. You get a preview of what the activity type is. You can also choose your specific standard, your specific grade level. You can select your topic. And then here you'll be able to see the specific standards. These are the Common Core standards here, aligned to Colorado itself. And then let's say I want routine writing practice. I can make it relevant, and I can just type. I can be really specific about what I want, and then it will just go ahead and create the activity for you. I'm also going to show you, I'm going to come back to the interactive games because I think you're going to find this to be really exciting. You can also see the different whiteboards that are here. So quick match, showcase your creativity, invent a solution, rate on a scale, create a storyboard. What do you think? Key timelines, identify cause and effect. So we could come to this, what do you think? And I can type in 6th grade, and I can change this to science, let's say, and design a solution. And I can just create the activity itself, and it's going to take a few moments, and it will pop up there in just a minute. While that's loading, I'm going to come back here to the interactive games. And then here you'll see that there's different types of games that can now be created. Sequence, categorize it, matching, multiple choice, fill in the blank. And so what I'll do is I can just click on categorize it here. And this creates a Canva game for students to be able to play. So you can do the same thing here. So I can do 1st grade. I can select an option. Let's just say maybe music, or I could select math, and I can just do shape attributes. And I'm going to come back to this in just a moment, and let's just see what our whiteboard activity has created. Up here, there are this little tip here. So you just want to erase that before you easily share with your students. And I'll show you how we can do that in just a minute. Evaluating design choices in science. So the activity is here. I can scaffold this for my students, but my students can go ahead and we can move through this. And I'm going to show you a couple other tips as we go through, but then you have the activity, and there's either going in the creativity task, which is my favorite, meme, or they can create a bumper sticker, and then they can just send it back to teacher. So that's what's there. Let's go back here to our categorize it. We were doing a 1st grade class. Let's just do math and shape attributes. And we can go ahead and do that. And then in a second, it's just going to go ahead and it's going to create an activity for me based on what I've put there. So I could make it apples and bananas. I don't know. It could be any of those types of things. You could be really specific with what you're wanting. But it is just going to create that game for you based on what you've asked it to. And you just have to be patient with all of this. So we'll go ahead and we'll let that think there. We'd love to hear from you. So far, what if you watch the keynote or not watch the keynote, we'd love to hear what things you're most excited about. And we'll just go ahead and let this continue coding. There's some really great things that we're going to be going through today that I don't want to spoil for you. So I love seeing all of those there, and you can just share those with us. And then, like I said, we'll make sure you have full resources available for you there as well. Okay, so the first thing we would put in here, and this is just instantly in play mode. So I can put my name, I can say, let's go, and we'll go ahead and sort these. I can do the check the answer. We can reset it and we can do it all over again. So it does have that option. And then if you were to click data, you can then connect that to a data source and you can keep track over time. A recommendation is once you have the version that you would like to have, then you go ahead and you then tap the data sheet. Each version will have its own sheet. So make sure that's just a good tip for you when you're doing this. Okay. So now we're going to go back, customize your classroom content, and be able to create a personal brand kit. We've been hearing this for a really long time. Keep every worksheet, presentation, newsletter, and certificates consistent with your classroom style. You can now create your own personal brand kit. So let me go ahead and show you how. So I'm in brand, and I already created a brand kit. I called it, you'll just hit the plus sign here. You'll see the brand kits here, and you'll just add a brand kit. And then I've already created mine where it's Leena Test. If I had a website, I could pull in the website and do all of that from there. But we can go to logos. So basically when you're in each of the sections, you would just add the brand files here. So let's say you had a class logo. So I'll just upload my class logo. So I can have my logo here. So it's available across all the designs. I can go into fonts. So let's say I have fonts that are specific to, for example, dyslexia classroom. So I have my fonts here that I've already pulled up. So I'm just going to click on them and I'm going to open them. And then I just upload them, just confirming that I have the proper use case for them. And then now you can see the fonts have been uploaded. And then you can just go through, you can add your brand voice, you can add specific icons, chart colors, graphics, you can add all sorts of things there as well. So then when you're on a poster, you'll just go to brand and you'll see your full brand kit is here once you have everything all set up. I didn't do a full setup for you, but we will have a resource in the guidebook to show you how to fully set up everything for you. But when we're on our poster and we come up to fonts, I can type in my font here and now I can actually change it. So I can change all of those fonts to now be what I want it to be inside of there. So now you can upload your own fonts. You don't have to wait for your org admin to do that. Now we're moving on to teacher locked elements. Lock key elements so students focus on their work and not formatting. Your structure stays consistent across assignments and lessons while students stay free to create. So students aren't able to unlock elements which have been locked by the teacher. So here I am in an assignment. Let's say that I have this document here, and let's say that I lock these. You can also just, you don't want to lock these. I mean, you can, but if you lock those, they make them unusable. So make sure that you're not locking like 3D elements, but you can go through and you can lock all parts of your design. And what happens is that when the students see it, and I'll show you what this looks like in a live learning session, when the students see it, they actually won't be able to unlock them like they have in the past. They're locked and they will stay locked, which I think is a really great addition. Next is expressive captions. So create clearer, more engaging videos with new caption styles and simple timeline editing. You can now do that in Canva itself. So we'll come over here and let's say that I want to create a video here. I'm just going to go to uploads. You can upload your own video or you can create one. So I'm just going to go to videos, and this is a video that I've already created. It's actually not from this presentation, but when I click on it, I will right click on this and I'm going to edit as video. So you'll click the 3 dots and edit as video. And then when you do, you'll click on the video, you go to text, and you'll see captions here. So you'll select the caption, and then you can select the colors, the fonts, so it makes it more readable for your students. And then what happens is I will generate the caption on this video, one that I pre-recording in there. And this one was about math. So now when I hit play, study the roof of the house. Which of the following 3D shapes does it look like? Recall that 3D means 3-dimensional. Prism, pyramid, cube, cone, or cylinder. And I can go through and I can edit this. So this is meant to be a question. I can add a question mark to there. And then when I'm finished, I just go back. And then now when I'm in present mode, my students will now see those captions right there available to them, or to your audience, or whoever you're trying to share this with. So it's another great resource that you'll be able to now edit in real time. Now decorate my design. So this is a really fun one, something that could be relatively useful. So this presentation that I'm in is about the human body. So let's just come here to our design and then we'll click edit. Oops, sorry. These are shapes. So let me just get rid of, I'm going to get rid of everything that's not a shape here on this page. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click edit and I'm going to tap on decorate up here. And now I'm going to say skeletal system of the human body. And then I'm just going to click generate. And what this is going to do is add decorative elements to my design that's going to match the content of which I'm working on. So we'll just let that think for a moment. And it's going to take a few moments. And then now you'll see that I can click on these versions, which is kind of fun, right? It's created these decorative elements and I no longer have to search for it. It's just there. And it kind of puts them in like a fun structure. It matches actually the color on the design. So I can just click this and now it's here and it's here in the background. So fun. You can try it for a variety of use cases. There's many of them like science fairs or that sort of thing. But I think that's pretty neat. Okay, now page semantics and reading order. So this launched actually at our last What's New, but we didn't have time to cover this. So this makes content accessible and easier to navigate with being able to assign specific page semantics and reading order. On that same note, we'll go through here and now we're going to explore what that looks like on a PDF document itself. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to add, I'm going to come to, oops. I'm just going to add a poster here. And we'll just do a poster. And then I'm going to come over to the templates. And let's just say we use, I'm just going to put education here. Come up with one. Okay, so let's say we have this one right here. And this is our document. We come over to File. You have this section here that says accessibility. So you can check the design, accessibility, which I always recommend doing. Has launched a while ago, but this is here for you. It just wants to make sure that you have things here, and the alternative text, basically, we didn't assign any. This is actually not for every item that we have on here. We don't have any alt text. You can add alt text here, or you can just mark it as decorative elements. And this is going through my whole design, so you don't have to worry too much about that in this case. But here, when we go to accessibility, you can go to page edit text semantics. And so basically what you do on this is like, so equity is a paragraph, is that a heading? So you can go through and you can assign that so that when you are actually downloading this or sharing this, screen reader can actually understand and break this down in the order that it's meant to break it down, and be able to have that, be able to make that an accessible option. And now we're going to talk about components. So you can design once and sync everywhere. You can build reusable blocks like headers, rubrics, and teaching programs that stay in sync across every page within a design. When the source updates, every connected element updates with it. There are two types: a document component, which lets anyone keep elements in sync with a single design, and a brand component with controls that empower organization admins to keep entire brands on focus across design. So if you're doing a brand component, only a org admin or a brand designer will be able to add those, but you as a teacher can still edit that as you would like. So let me show you that in action. Okay, so here I am on a website that I've already created, and I'm just working in a design that I had previously made here. So here I am, and let's say that this section right here is a section that I am really finding a lot of value with, and I want to be able to create. So you can do a rubric, you can do whatever you'd like to do. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a component, and I can give the component a name. Let's group this first, and then let's create a component. We'll give a component the name for it. And then I'm going to click create. And then what happens is there is a component that has now been created. And so when I come over here to, let's say, a presentation, let's just give this background a color. I can come over to the components section, which is now open here, and I'll click on components. And now I can add this. So I can't edit this component, but it's a component that has everything that I have done to it in the past. So it will come live on anything. So it could be, I don't know, directions. It could be whatever you want it to be. And you can have multiple of these ones. And so when you see here source, that means it's taking us back to the original place of where it came from, so that if you need to make changes, I can make changes. So let's just say, hello, welcome to the webinar. And then you'll see it says change all. So I click change all. And now when I come over here, it's now updated it. So it's updating it in real time. So whatever instance this component sits on will now be completely changed. So let's say you wanted to change the link or whatever was in here. You just need to go back to the source and you can change it all, or you can change it just on that one thing. And then the components live here. And so when you tap the three dots, it will take you right to the source. You can edit it. Pretty neat. And then last thing I want to talk about, and I'm not going to show you anything for the demo part of this, but now you can create and share accessible content with confidence. Canva now meets the WCAG 2.1 AA standards and aligns with ADA requirements, including accessible PDFs with correct reading order, alt text and decorative images, accessibility checker, auto captions for videos, and zoom up to 400%. In your guidebook, we do have accessibility features if you're looking for that. I have that linked, and you'll be able to have that resource for you as well. All right. So we've covered quite a lot. Let's go through and go to the next thing. Smarter teaching workflows, from resources to student work, all in one place. So live learning is a really awesome feature that you're going to really love. You can collaborate with your whole class in real time. Live learning sessions make it easy to share activities and start working together instantly. Bring students into the same design for brainstorms and group work and pause sessions when you need more control. So I'll show you exactly what this looks like. But the main thing is is that when you're in a live learning session, you'll be able to invite students to join. And instead of giving them a share link or an edit link or any of that kind of thing, they can come into the design and they can work. And when they're finished, or whenever you're finished, you can end the session. And then the students won't be able to work on that anymore. So it just kind of ends the work of which you're working on. So let's take a look at what that looks like in action. Okay, so I've taken a template that I have created here, and this is what does kindness look like to you? It's just a thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this, and then I tap live learning, and I can start a live learning session. So I can give the students, they can join this link, they can scan the QR code, and then this is the code that will come there, or you can just copy the link and code and share it with them through your device. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So I'm here. Okay. And then here I am on the design. Now I obviously want to hide these other pages unless you want them to have access to it, but you can. I'm going to enter my name, and then I'm going to select my avatar, and then I'm going to go ahead and it shows me that I'm in. And then I'm just going to go to this next page. So as the educator, I would have hidden these pages so that they can't have access to them, but it's fine. And then what you'll see here is I'll type in here, and I'll do these windows side by side. What does kindness look like to you? Saying nice things. Let's see, at school, helping someone understand the directions maybe. And then I'm going to go through and put that. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what that looks like on the teacher side. So now I'm going to go back to the teacher side. And now we can see the work, and we can see where Leena is on the document itself. And so if we were to have these side by side, you can see what the student is doing in real time. So I can pause this session. So if I pause it, you'll see that it says that the teacher paused it. So I can do this. I can say, got it. And so that means that I can't, everything is locked. I'm not able to do anything on here. And then when I hit resume, I can now go ahead and edit again. Now, remember what we talked about, those teacher locked elements. So I'm just going to go ahead and lock this. And so now you can see that I don't have any ability to unlock. It's grayed out, and the students don't have that ability to do that any longer. So that is a live learning session. Again, you would just end it, and it just gives you that real-time way to go ahead and move through that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Assign in Canva. I'm going to show you what that looks like and how we can actually see the live learning in process. We do cover this actually in the Engaged Student course in Canvas Design School. So if you feel like you want to take a look, you can take a look at that as well. So I'm going to show you how to do the Assign in Canva. So back here on our design again. So let's say I am really happy with this assignment. So I could go ahead and I can click Assign, and then I can assign via a link to my LMS. I can assign to students in Canva, assign to students in Google Classroom, or assign in Microsoft Teams. If you do in Google Classroom, you can actually see it go back and forth. I have covered this in a previous webinar, so I'm not going to go into too much detail around that and Teams, but in this case, I'm just going to say assign to students in Canva. Say, please complete all pages. So the all-in-one the all-in-one timeline here at the bottom could give you multiple ways that you can assign this to your students so that you can track the data and that sort of thing. And I hit continue. And then I'm just going to go ahead and assign to my students. I like to notify the students that it's there. So I like to know when they are notified, and I click assign so that they instantly get in things. So now I can go to classwork or classroom, depending on where you are. And I can go here and I can tap on what I just did. And so what would happen is that the students that are in here, I can actually see them in real time. So you can see here, there's something to be reviewed. This was assigned through Google Classroom, but you can see the students working in real time on the design. So as soon as they've opened it, you're able to actually see what they've done and how much they've completed. So it just gives you a nice when you assign things and it kind of goes into a dead zone, you're not sure what they're doing, you can come here and manage it all. Even if you assign it in Google Classroom or Teams, you can manage it all right here. You can see what your students are doing in real time. I personally love to do that and put it up on the board so that so you can see all the students working on their activities right there. So you can go through, you can even edit the activity, assign an activity from here, but you can sort it by those that are in progress. So once they open it up, it will say that they're in progress and you'll be able to see that in real time right there. So pretty neat, a feature that I definitely recommend, obviously, checking out again. So it'll look just like this screen flow that we're showing here, where you're there, you can see what the students are doing in real time. You can click on any of the assignments that are in progress and you can see what they've done. And then all the students need to do is tap send to teacher and it will send it to you and you'll see that it's been submitted. So one of the last things that we'll cover for today, one of the last ones for the What's New section. I know we went through a lot of things today and you guys have been doing great. So thank you so much for all of your patience. Now I'm going to come back to this activity that we've been working on. And again, this is something I have magic edit. So I might need to use the magic layers. What I can now do is now I can print. So I can use my printer. In the past, you would have to download. So you just click use your printer. And then it will go ahead and it will start printing. So no longer do you have to download. You can just print directly to here once your printer has been set up. I don't have a printer. I have a printer set up, but I'm not going to do that. So you could save it as PDF if you want it, but do your printer, select how you want it, what you want it to look like. And then you would just go ahead and print and have that access there. My printer's just black and white, so that's what you see that. But you can go ahead and see exactly what that will look like in real time when you go ahead and print that as is. I'd recommend obviously doing it by page type before you go ahead and print that. And this is different than print with Canva. When you click print with Canva, that means you're printing a physical product. So again, you go to File, and you go to Print, Use My Printer, and that means that you're using your physical printer that has been attached to your design. Okay, and Canva offline. So keep creating even without Wi-Fi. Make your designs available offline ahead of time so you can keep working wherever you are. Prepare your files while online and your changes will be synced when you reconnect. This recently just came in handy when I was flying to Canva Create to do a presentation. I was working on it. I wasn't finished with it. I needed to be able to work on the doc while I was kind of offline and then be able to edit it when I was online. So all you have to do is click make available offline to your design and it will prepare it for you just like that. And while it's making it offline, you'll see up here, it's kind of saving to my device, but I can continue to make changes. And then those updates will reflect that offline mode there. So it'll let you know when it's finished. And now it says it's available offline. And then whenever I'm ready, I just click reload to continue. And then I'll be able to, whenever I come back to wherever I am, and then I'll just be able to do it. But you can still edit it when it's in that offline mode, which is so amazing if you ask me. Okay, now we're moving on to Canva-fy your resources. We've covered what's new in Canva. I know there's so much information. In the back of the guidebook, you'll find information about all of the launches, and you can do more follow-up there. There's only so much time in a day that we can cover. So now we're going to move on to Canva-fy your resources. Today, we'll be hearing from Level Up Your Lessons and Engage Every Student. This section is all about learning how real-life educators are using Canva in their classroom in fun ways. Today, we're going to be joined by Leena. Leena is a Canva verified expert. I'm going to pass it over to her to share her information and to share how she's using Canva.
Thank you so much, Leena. That was super insightful. Hi everyone, my name is Leena Sheikh. I'm a Canva verified expert from India. And today I'll show you how you can use Canva to create interactive learning experiences for your students. And I will be covering this in two simple parts. Let's start with part 1. Imagine this, you have a school textbook. Instead of typing everything manually, what if you could directly pick content from it? Let's go to Canva. Over here, as you can see, I have this image from a textbook. I can go to edit and then click on see all. And over here, just click on grab text and click on all text. And as you can see, all your text will be grabbed with the help of Canva within seconds. Now you can easily add it in your worksheets and create content with it. Amazing, right? You can do this similarly with images. Suppose I have an image from my textbook and I want to use this in a design or in a worksheet. I have to go to edit and then click on magic layers. It will take a few seconds, and as you can see, the image is ready, and now we can grab and put our image wherever we want in our worksheet. So this was super amazing. This saves you a lot of time and makes worksheet creation super faster. Now let's move to part 2. Instead of giving your students simple worksheet, what if you can give self-learning experiences in Canva? As you can see in the screen, I have a worksheet for this maths where there is addition basics mentioned. If you can see the problems are mentioned over here along with a QR code that redirects them to the answer key. So what happens is once the student solves it, they can view the answers with the help of this answer key. You can use this method with anything, like suppose you have created a video tutorial and you want to link it in a worksheet, you can generate a QR code and link it. Now, to generate a QR code, all you have to do is go to apps and search for QR. And you will find QR code. Click on this QR code app and enter your link over here. So this link can have your video tutorial, or it can link to your answer key or anything that you want to share with your students. So I have linked answer key to the addition questions. And the code is ready. Now I can download this QR code as an image and upload it back to Canva and use it in sheets to bulk create designs. If you can see over here, I have a sheet ready with multiple worksheets that I want to create, right? For addition, subtraction, double digit, and so on. And all the different questions are mentioned over here. Now what I'll do is I'll start uploading the QR code images that I have just generated over here. So you can go to uploads and upload the QR codes over here. And you can simply drag and drop your QR codes. Now, as you can see, I have added all the QR codes over here. Now let's use bulk create feature. Go to actions and search for bulk create. Now just select the rows and the column where you want to apply this bulk create feature. Like this, select everything and continue. Now choose a template where you want to apply it. So I have this template ready and I will link it to that template. Okay, and then continue. Now as you can see, it has an option to auto match fields. So just click on it and it will auto match. If you can see, questions are getting auto matched and title is getting auto matched. So I'll just click on auto match, or you can even do it manually. So if you can see on the screen, Q1, question 1 is linked, Q2, question 2 is linked, and similarly image is linked to QR code and title is also linked. That's incredible. You did not have to do it manually. So kudos to that. Now let's click on create 6 designs. We even have an advanced option. If you want to create one design with multiple worksheets, you can even do that. But since I want all of these worksheets to be individual designs, so I'll go ahead with 6 individual designs. Okay, and then create 6 designs. Now your designs will get ready with the magic of Canva. As you can see, our design is ready. Let's click on view in folder. And all the 6 sheets are ready. Now let me open it one by one. If you can see, this is division basics sheet. It has the QR code of division and division questions are there, right? Similarly, you can open another sheet. Let me just open this one. Like this one has addition problems, right? Addition basics. The title is changed, the questions are changed, and the QR code is changed. So you can do this in Canva and make your work much more faster with the help of this bulk create feature and help your students have a self-learning experience. This is not just worksheet creation. This is smart learning system created with Canva. If you want to try it out, the links of these templates are available for you. Thank you. Back to you, Leena.
Hina, thank you so much for sharing that amazing use case of how you're using Canva. And I can't wait for other educators to connect with you. Make sure you find her information in the guidebook and follow along for all the fun tutorials that she offers. Thank you again, Hina. All right, now we're moving on to new educator resources. Okay, educator resources. New resources meant to leave you feeling empowered using Canva. First up, student activities. Design School has everything you need to help your students start creating in Canva with step-by-step guidance and creative inspiration. So let's take a look at how we find this activity. In your guidebook, this will be linked, but I'm going to show you how you can do this on Canva. So we'll go to Canva. You can go to canva.com/design school, or you can click on the More tab here and click on Design School. And when you do, you can type in student activity or sort. And here you'll be able to see all the student activities that have been created here. There's so many great ones just for students. Okay, and the one that we just released for this month is this Analyze a Character with a Game Card. So this is designed for you to open and use right with your classroom. It comes with a cheat sheet that actually is directed right towards students. So right through here, you can actually assign this to your students, give them the assignment, and then have them get to work. So this walks through everything that they'll be creating. So they're going to create a character, add character traits, strengths and weaknesses, as well as build the inventory. So this is what the template will look like. And this is an example of a completed game card. So this is the avatar. This person is obviously very passionate about saving the wildlife. She inspires others to care, and we can see these traits here. So we teach the student the core traits. So this is just a really great example of all the activities that we actually have in Canva that you can, about me posters, there's all sorts of things. So each one of these is meant to be delivered to students. So you just assign them the assignment, and then they can kind of work through it and then submit it to you. So we do create different variations for these every single month. In addition to student activities, there are these classroom recipes. So within the classroom recipe itself, you can find these right on the Canva homepage. These are resources. So we do have up here teaching resources. Classroom recipes is what we're looking for here. So this is a page available to you. Again, the link will be provided in your guidebook. And down here are classroom recipes. These are activities that have been created by other educators in how they're using Canva, and they come with step-by-step templates. So this one, let's take a look at the original podcast. We can tap on it and we can see the activity, what the grade level is for, preparation, what you need, how you set it up, how you write the narrative, this podcast template. One of my faves, I love to podcast. There's a podcast recording guide and then a finishing template here. So it has everything that you need to feel inspired using Canva with a full classroom recipe of how to do this yourself. And last but not least, again, I mentioned the Canva Create launches and how important it is to go ahead and find that there. We also do have a variety of resources that have been recently launched in Design School to help you feel empowered. But when you come to canva.com/launches, again, this will be in your guidebook. You'll be able to see all of the different things that we've launched during Canva. And you'll be able to see exactly how they work in action. Learn Grid, some new stuff from Affinity, some of your wishes that have been granted. So when you're looking at being able to try any of these, if it says try image to video, try AI effects, that means they're already out and available for you. If they say something like coming soon, that means they'll be launching and rolling out with all of the other things. So keep your eyes peeled for that. You can try Sheets 2.0. There's so much content that we were not able to cover today in today's webinar. And we're also including this deck here, this presentation that's been created for you. This presentation goes over all the things that we've talked about today, how you find them, the teacher use cases, how to get there. So all the directions on how, if you're wanting to learn more about all the things that we've covered today, there's a lot of information that I was not able to get to. So you'll have that resource in your guidebook, and then some just other helpful resources. So Design School 2.0, again, you click on the More tab and tap Design School. You can learn how to use Canva in the classroom with free resources, courses, and certifications designed to support both students and teachers. We do have an AI student course that can be led by teachers. We do have engaged students with Canva. There's so many resources that are available to you. That what I learned at Canva Create is that not a lot of people know about it. So I hope that you're visiting Canva Design School to check out cheat sheets, resources, everything that you need to teach and feel inspired using Canva. All of our previous What's New events can be found here. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to Canva's YouTube channel and find the What's New playlist. Something else that we hope is that you'll be part of our global Facebook community. We do have communities all around the world designed for you to connect and collaborate with other teachers and ask questions. Nothing is more powerful than being able to speak to a community of educators or people that understand what you're going through and to be able to shoot ideas off with. We also hope that you'll follow us on X. A lot of our Canva-fy things or things that we create in Design School actually come from you and your inspiration, whether that's through our global Facebook groups or tagging us on X. We look for the specific hashtag of Canva EDU. Canva love just means how much you love Canva, and Canva tips is being able to share yours with other educators. So when other educators search, they look for Canva tips and they're able to find that on X. Wow, that was a lot. Fast and furious. I don't know about you, but that was a lot of information for me today. We just want to thank you so much. We know how valuable your time is. A lot of us here are former educators, and we are just so thankful for the work that you do every single day in and out of the classroom to support education and learners and students. We really mean this with everything that we have. Thank you so much for attending today, and please share with us what you're creating. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see what you're doing. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody. Happy designing.